Welcome students to an enriching learning journey ahead with Wood Apple Resources. Class 3 English. I am your teacher Sanvi. Here are your friends.
I'm Ruby. I'm Abby.
Dear students, today I'm going to teach you Chapter 12, Elegancies. Let's get started. I'm sure you all must have eaten a meal in a restaurant.
Yes, I have.
What did you notice when you went there?
Ma'am, I noticed that the table had a white tablecloth that was clean. And there was a salt and pepper shaker placed on the table. A waiter showed us to our table and politely asked us what we would like to order.
Very good, Abby. While dining at a restaurant, we need to follow certain guidelines. Today's poem teaches us dining etiquette. Let's get started. Let's recite the first 4 lines together. The food is ready, and all can dine, craving though it's lunchtime. Shall we reheat or order pizza online? From the smartphones 9 to 9. In these lines, the poem talks about how the food is already ready and everyone can sit down to eat. However, even though it's lunchtime and they are feeling hungry, they are wondering if they should warm up the food or just order pizza online instead. It also mentions how people often use their smartphones all day from morning to night, possibly to decide what to do, like ordering food. The poem shows how sometimes, even when food is ready, we still consider other options, and our phones play a big part in our decisions. Let's recite the next 5 lines together. Shall we get a diner's table? Let's be quick but stable. Scan the QR from the panel. The a la carte shouldn't be nabbed. Put the napkin on your lap. The poem further talks about going to a restaurant and asking if they should get a table to sit and eat. They want to do it quickly but carefully. It mentions scanning a QR code from the menu on the table to choose their food. They don't want to miss out on ordering from the special menu. Lastly, it reminds them to put the napkin on their lap, which is something people do at nice restaurants to keep their clothes clean while eating. Let's recite the next 5 lines together. Elbows and feet off the table. Never switch plans on a table. 4 forks and 3 knives. With a bread dish and a butter knife for a salad, tikka, meat and sweet pies. Next, the poem talks about good table manners. It reminds us not to put our elbows or feet on the table. It also says not to change plans when you are at the table. Then it describes how the table is set with many forks and knives, showing that each one is used for different foods. There is also a small dish for bread and a special knife for butter. The different forks and knives are for eating things like salad, tikka, a kind of Indian dish, meat and sweet pies for dessert. Look at the picture and learn the uses of the different cutlery. The dinner fork on the left is meant for the main course. The dinner knife on the right is used for cutting and spreading food. Next to the knife is the soup spoon, which is specifically for soups and stews. Above the plate, a dessert spoon is placed for sweets and desserts. Together, these items help complete a formal dining setup. Let's recite the next 4 lines together. For hot soup, thick and bright, pick the spoon from the extreme right. Plate away and tilt of spoon gives the last bit of stew soon. These lines talk about eating soup properly. It says that when you have hot and thick soup, you should pick up the spoon that is placed on the far right side of your table. When you're almost done eating, you should tilt the bowl and use the spoon to get the last bit of soup. This helps make sure you enjoy every last drop of the stew. Let's recite the last few lines together. A fork and knife in a plate as a cross. Want to munch on all that is gloss. Keep them apart before a pause. Point them right if you like. Fork on knife, yet don't like. Place it parallel after done. Eating with cutlery is so much fun. These lines talk about how to use a fork and knife properly when eating. It describes placing the fork and knife across each other on the plate when you want to enjoy your food. However, you should keep them apart when you take a break from eating. If you want to show that you're finished with your meal, you should place the fork and knife side by side or parallel on the plate. The poem reminds us that eating with a fork and knife is fun and can be done in a polite way. So, what did we learn from the poem, Appy?
We learn about good table manners. It teaches us how to behave at the table, like not putting our elbows or feet on it. The poem also explains how to use the right forks, knives, and spoons for different foods. It shows how placing cutlery in certain ways can tell others if we are still eating or have finished. Overall, the poem reminds us to be polite and have good manners while eating, so everyone enjoys the meal.
Nicely explained, Appy. Now let's move on to grammar. Today's topic is conjunctions. Read the sentences along with me. I like apples and bananas. The word and is used to join two things. In this sentence, and connects apples and bananas, which are both things the person likes. Instead of saying, I like apples, I like bananas, we use and to make the sentence shorter and easier to read. I did not go to school because I was sick. The word because gives the reason for something. In this sentence, because explains why the person didn't go to school. They didn't go to school because they were sick. Therefore, the words and because are conjunctions. A conjunction is a word that joins two ideas or sentences together. They are also called linkers or connectors. Here are some examples of conjunctions: and, but, because, though, so, as, if, etc. Let us now understand the rules for the usage of conjunctions. And, used to join similar ideas. I have a pencil and a notebook. Though, but, yet, still. Used to join contrasting or unlike ideas. I was tired, though I still finished my homework. I wanted to play, but it started raining. If and whether used to show conditions or possibilities. I will go to the park if it doesn't rain. I don't know whether we will go to the park today. because, so, as, and since. Used to show reason I was hungry. So I made a sandwich. I stayed indoors because it was raining. Let's test ourselves. Complete the following passage with appropriate conjunctions.
Can I give you the answers?
Sure, look at the screen. A day at the beach. I love going to the beach with my family. We always have a great time. Last weekend, we went to the beach dash. It was a sunny day. My brother and I built a sand castle. Dash, it was very big. We used buckets and shovels
To make it look nice.
We wanted to swim in the ocean. Dash, my mom said it was too cold. We decided to play beach volleyball instead. Dash, it was really fun. I also collected seashells. Dash, I found some beautiful ones. I can't wait to go back to the beach.
A day at the beach. I love going to the beach with my family. We always have a great time. Last weekend, we went to the beach and it was a sunny day. My brother and I built a sand castle and it was very big. We used buckets and shovels to make it look nice. We wanted to swim in the ocean, but my mom said it was too cold. We decided to play beach volleyball instead, and it was really fun. I also collected seashells because I found some beautiful ones. I can't wait to go back to the beach.
Well done, Abby. So remember that conjunctions help us join words and sentences together, making our writing clearer and more interesting. They show how ideas are connected so we can share our thoughts better. Thank you for joining us. Keep learning and exploring with Wood Apple Resources.